Race car driving is a great form of entertainment for all ages. There is the thrill of the speed of the car. There's that heart-wrenching moment when your favorite race car driver crashes and you're worried about his safety. And while racing a car is very dangerous, there's a lot that's been done to increase the safety of those driving the vehicles. One of the things is the chassis of the car. The car chassis is designed to crush on the opposite sides to take the energy out of the impact. The car itself has a middle section that is made of tougher steel, and it also is surrounded by a roll cage. And I'm going to show you right now. This is an example of the roll cage. It is meant to keep this driver safe from impact, while the outer edges take the energy out of the impact itself. There's also the seat itself that the driver uses. It is also meant to surround the driver, and it takes the impact of the driving vehicle. And as you can see right here, the racing seats kind of envelope the driver it kind of comes around the rib cage, and it does this to also keep the impact on a larger scale, and therefore the energy is not in one particular point to cause damage. Okay, and the energy goes over a wider area. And there's also what the driver has is called a 5-point harness that goes around him. You will see this. Okay, there's two that go over his shoulders. There's ones that meet in the middle. They all click together, and there's one that comes up in between his legs. This keeps him tightly put in the car into the seat, and it keeps him from moving or jostling around. The other thing is you'll notice is that he's wearing a helmet. The helmets are specially rated. They have special fiber in them that is fire retardant. You'll see it's right close to the cheeks. It also has a chin strap and everything, and usually has a visor to come down so that no debris will hit the driver. This is very important that he also wears what's called a Hans device. The Hans device is a yoke-like object. Whoopsie. Right here. Okay, and you can see where it goes around his shoulders and down. Okay, and this comes around his back. This portion right here is at the back of his neck. And you'll see clips. This will actually clip into the helmet to prevent him from moving. This is to protect his neck. This is actually, if Dale Earnhardt had this, there is a possibility that he might have lived through his crash. He was not one that wore a Hans device. They also have protective gear. That is the suit. This suit is made of fire retardant material that is really can go up to 2100 Kelvin. No, Fahrenheit. I apologize. And this goes for also gloves that the driver has to wear and shoes that the driver wears. This is something to prevent during accidents. As much as we would like to think that it would not happen, fire does happen at times, and this will help protect the driver. The other thing that is also a device that is used is webbing on the window. I don't have a picture of that in particular. I do have another picture of a helmet. Okay, and you can see the side clips that the Hans device clips into to keep him nice and rigid in that car. The other thing is that the windows are not made of glass. They are polyfiber or carbon fiber or something along that lines. I'm not sure in itself, but it's to prevent the glass from either coming into the vehicle or harming someone else by moving to another vehicle during a crash. They also have no side windows in a race car. The race car does on the side of the racer have what's a net, and it's a nylon netting that goes and clips into the vehicle, so that when during a crash, because the driver is unable to keep control of himself due to the G-forces, and his hands could easily slip out that window and being crushed during a roll, they keep that and put that mesh locked into place. But the mesh also has the ability to have a quick release. That quick release makes it so that that driver can actually get out of the vehicle during crash or fire, or if he needs to get out of the vehicle. The vehicle also has what's called a fuel cell. The fuel is all in the back. That gas tank is in the back. It has 4 straps on it, usually. Those 4 straps kind of keep them in place to prevent them from flying out during a crash. The outside of the fuel tank is heavy steel. The inside has a plastic area, and also further in is usually a foam. The foam keeps the fuel from sloshing around. This fuel is not regular gasoline. It's a higher octane type gasoline. So you really don't want those fumes to be there during a crash. So that foam keeps that from happening. I have been on a pit crew for years. I have helped my driver get into the car, made sure he's safe, make sure he has his helmet, his fire suit, and all his gloves and everything. I make sure he's strapped in. I make sure that wire mesh window is locked into place. I've also helped fuel the car up, make sure that that's okay. An inspection is always done of the car, and we make sure that he has all his safety equipment. I have personally seen him crash. It's heart-wrenching. It's very scary. But there's never been a time that he hasn't been in a crash. I've seen him hit walls. I've seen him hit other vehicles. I've seen his car go up in the air. And every time he has walked away. And I do believe it is because of the safety equipment that we utilize to keep him safe. Thank you very much.